run up the score, and these are two teams with a talented lineup and lots of power.
Well, toward your point then, might makes right. Let's look at some of the offensive stars we expect to see looking to have big nights tonight. Nestor Santana for Miami has gotten off to a good start this season, a victory in his last, and you see he is a very good, both a body puncher and a big right-hand puncher from that squared up stance. He can find power at any moment, and he is one fighter that Miami is looking to. And Ariel Davis for Atlanta, seeing an inexperienced opponent, she's a veteran, boom. That's how you get 4 points real quickly in the team boxing league. A terrific shot, one of the best punches we will see this year. That creates the 4 points for the knockdown. She has had one of the longest win streaks in this league, and she is one of the most stable performers in the team boxing league. Well, we have the launch rounds, the middle rounds, and the money rounds. What are you looking at as the round to watch in the launch rounds?
Yeah, let's take a peek at round number 8. The heavyweights, the aforementioned Nestor Santana coming in with all that power, but facing for Atlanta a very good fighter in Samuel Clarkson, who won twice in their season debut. He is not going to be an easy man for Santana to face.
Okay, the third member of our broadcast team, Amelia Moore, takes us down into ringside and gets with Coach Sam Arnold.
Good evening, Dave. We are here back in Atlanta's locker room with head coach Sam Arnold ahead of tonight's fight against their rivals, division rivals, Miami Assassins. So tonight, going into this fight, are there been any key adjustments or themes that you've really shared with the team to make sure that they come out and really perform at their best tonight?
Actually, it haven't been any adjustments. I've just been trying to keep them motivated throughout the week. I know what type of talent we got on the team, and I know what type of team we have, and I believe in our team. So it didn't have to be a lot of adjustment talk. It's more just go out there and do what you're used to doing.
Absolutely. So, you know, in these moments, we rarely get to talk to the head coach. We rarely get to talk to you guys ahead of the fight. And with that being said, so much work goes into being able to prep for the fight. Now, how are you feeling now that you know that little adjustments will be made, but now it's in the hands of the athletes?
I guess the description of how I feel is like Christmas, and you see the presents and you want to open them now. So I'm just ready for them to go out there and do what I know we're going to do, and that's be victorious.
It's going to be an amazing night tonight. Thank you, Coach, and thanks to the athletes tonight. You guys are going to be hopefully victorious. Do your thing. Al, let's kick it off.
Thanks, Amelia. Well, Dave, we are looking forward to this one like no other.
That's right, and we'll see what presents Sam Arnold is going to get to unwrap, along with the fans who get a present watching this TBL action unfold.
Action and decisive finishes. Here's how it works. First, base points. A boxer that wins their respective round of competition by way of knockout, technical knockout, disqualification, or forfeit, any form of stoppage, will earn the respective team the maximum 4 points available for any given round. A boxer that wins their round by way of a judge's decision will earn the respective team 1 point. A boxer whose round results in a loss, draw, or no contest will not earn their team any points. Second, knockdown bonus points. Boxers competing in rounds that do not end in a stoppage and are instead determined by way of a judge's decision can earn the respective team knockdown bonus points along the way. Whether ultimately declared the winner or loser of a round ending in a decision by the judges, each knockdown scored by a boxer along the way will earn their team 1 additional point. Boxers can earn their team a maximum of 2 knockdown bonus points per round of competition. If the round ends in a stoppage, bonus points do not apply because the victor will have already earned their team the maximum 4 points available per round of TBL competition. So whether it's a dominant decision win or a spectacular knockout, the maximum reward is always 4 points. Season 4 is simple. Win big, score knockdowns, finish strong.
Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use code TEAM, and start today. Well, we're just about ready to go. Kicked off by the TBL Bellas, one of the nice additions to the Team Boxing League this year. And let's send it inside and meet the fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Georgia International Convention Center for tonight's Week 4 showdown between the visiting Miami Assassins and your hometown Atlanta Attack. We want you to know that you can stream every moment of TBL Season 4 live on the Team Boxing League app, available on Apple TV 4K, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV, as well as iPhone and Android devices. Don't miss a second of TBL Team Boxing League action. Also, a fine thank you to Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Tonight's fights are powered by Balance of Nature. Our fighters fuel with clean carbs and real ingredients. And now you can too. Grab their guiltless snacks and get 35% off right now with code TEAM at balanceofnature.com. And Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. And now, TBL fans, let's welcome the visiting Miami Assassins.
One of the nice elements of the Team Boxing League, you get to watch the fighters come in together after they trained, traveled. Not as big a trip this time as some other ones, but Miami Assassins always talented, always having a lot of good Cuban fighters.
Many, yeah. They and the Las Vegas team in this league have specialized in that, and of course, so many of them so talented coming out of the amateur system there, and have made their way as professionals.
These teams tore apart the league in the middle of the season last year. They were both hot. So they have that potential to be
The head
strong.
coach of the Miami Assassins is Herman Caicedo. Bantamweight Samantha Sosa. Featherweight Victor Abreu. Featherweight Ali Palejo Valle. Lightweight Yosdel Napoles. Welterweight Darius the Hawk Jackson. Super welterweight Yoelis Molina. Middleweight Giovanni Estela. Heavyweight Nestor Santana. Featherweight Samantha Ginnathan. Former Olympian and WBA IPO featherweight champion lightweight Claudio the Matrix Moreno. Super lightweight Sofia Veretti. Welterweight Estudia Suero. Super middleweight Yosmel Ruiz. Light heavyweight Isaac Carbonell. Two-time light heavyweight title challenger cruiserweight Yuneski the Monster Gonzalez. And current undisputed bare knuckle champion heavyweight Gustavo the Cuban Assassin Trujillo. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the undefeated Miami Assassins. And now let's welcome your undefeated hometown Atlanta Attack.
Boys, they better pray. Tell the boys stay out the way.
The handicapping
Ain't nobody
around
safe.
both here
I'm on my game.
around the league this has looked to be a pick-em fight.
I think both teams, as they walk in, understand that this is one that could go right down to the wire in every round. Every potential knockdown or knockout that these teams seem specialized in week 2 could be the thing that vaults them to victory.
Sure, keeping in mind those bonus points you mentioned, how big they were for both teams.
The head coach of the Atlanta Attack is esteemed trainer, Mr. Sam Arnold. 12-time national amateur champion, bantamweight Jasmine Hampton. Featherweight Marcel Bonner. Former California State Golden Gloves and national champion, featherweight Kaylee and Knights. Lightweight Desmond Lyons. Welterweight Javon Wolf Davis. U.S. Army veteran super welterweight Amina Mitchell. Middleweight Deshaun Prather. Former 2-time national champion Texas State and WBC Continental USA champion heavyweight Samuel Clarkson. Featherweight Alyssa Bolts. Lightweight Traquan Pettis. Super lightweight Ariola Davis. Welterweight Morgan Griggy. Super middleweight Keandre Trey Leatherwood. Light heavyweight DeAndre Pettis. Multi-time USA national champion and former Team USA member, cruiserweight Monty Great Powell. And heavyweight Devon Young. Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask that you please rise, if you are able to, for the singing of our national anthem being performed tonight by esteemed vocalist Ayanna Scroggins.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets ran glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ayanna Scroggins with the playing and the singing of our national anthem here tonight. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to begin the launch rounds between our two undefeated teams of the Atlanta Attack and the Miami Assassins. We begin at 118 pounds. For Miami, it is Samantha Sosa matching up against Atlanta's Jasmine Hampton.
All right, so Samantha Sosa in her pro debut in the TBL. And 3-0 for Jasmine Hampton. 2-0 with a KO as well in the pro. So see how they make out here.
Hampton, one of 6 boxers for Atlanta that won 2 matches in their opening match this season, so that's pretty extraordinary.
Yeah, when you see that type of a total, that is something that often brands a team as a contender for something bigger.
Sosa, a Florida Golden Gloves winner who competed in national competitions, and when she was in one of the USA competitions, she lost to a lefty, much like Jasmine Hampton. So she has a little experience in facing this exact style. She hopes that'll help her.
Try to overcome a reach disadvantage as Hampton comes in with a nice uppercut. Good stiff jab by Hampton, smartly placed. And then throws the left hand behind it. Good little sequence here for Jasmine Hampton.
And Hampton, who switches, as you said, switching righty, which she doesn't always do, but she had a great amateur career, 2-time runner-up in the National Golden Gloves, and just an excellent amateur fighter. And early in her pro career, she's shown a lot of promise already, too. There's a Sosa right. That's the punch she's going to try and get in. That's probably her best power punch.
He scored with it there, and the style is open for it. Nice combination, Hampton. And then the good left hand by Hampton scores.
Right hook downstairs by Hampton. She has a good one. Not every left-hander can throw the really good right hooks, but she does.
Oh, hitting off the break by Sosa, anticipating the call. No harm done. Good stiff jab again by Hampton. Using her height and reach pretty well in this contest.
The right hook has now become a big weapon for her. It was to the body, now it was to the head. And I'm not sure that last one didn't get the attention of Samantha Sosa.
Good straight right hand. So it's been some target practice at times for Jasmine Hampton. Oh, and there's that big right hand to remind her you can't just walk in.
Yeah, Sosa has landed several of those. Is that enough to give her the round, though?
All right, spirited opener. Hampton doing a lot of jabbing and moving, and Sosa with some signature right hands.
There's Sosa trying to get that right hand in, and the jab and the reach of Hampton prevented it a lot, but there's one that does get in, and there were several of those. So we're going to see which version of that kind of boxing the judges like.
Round 1 by unanimous decision. Atlanta's Jasmine Hampton.
All right, so a nice point for Atlanta. Good start.
Round 2 at featherweight for Miami. It is Victor Abreu matching up against Atlanta's Marcel Bonner.
So Victor Abreu is 17-10 in the team boxing league, 7-1 outside of the TBL. He split with Nico Hernandez, very good fighter, back in March, and also split with Leandra Johnson, who we have seen be fighter of the night already, so or score a big knockout. So he's well healed.
Yeah, Victor Abreu, a very aggressive fighter. You see him coming forward, and he is a fighter that, you know, 7-1 as a pro, 17-10 in the TBL. He's an aggressive guy that likes to come in and make things happen. And Marcel Bonner, you know, in his pro debut and TBL debut.
Showing some pretty good composure for a debut.
Especially against Abreu, you're going to have to be ready for pressure every second of this round. And Abreu fights that way when it's in pro fights that are much longer, so he's definitely going to do it for the 1 round.
Bonner trying to stalk, and Abreu fighting off the ropes.
Yeah, Bonner has gotten himself trapped on the ropes a little bit here, and it's not helping him against Abreu as he continues forward. Bonner was a runner-up in the National Golden Gloves tournament in 2023, and he had a nice amateur career. This is his first effort as a professional.
Abreu stalking him. You get that sense he eats a right hand. He would love to have an opportunity to throw an uppercut against the advancing Abreu.
And Abreu's not a monstrous power puncher, 3 knockouts in his pro fights, though he does have 3 KOs in team boxing, which is not that easy to do. The percentage is always much less in team boxing. But he fights like a fighter who's a knockout artist, doesn't he? He's always coming in, being aggressive, and looking for power punches.
He gives you no room.
And Abreu got a win only three weeks ago, or a month ago, actually, a month or so ago in the professional ranks with a TKO win in 3 rounds. So he's been busy and active, and in addition to splitting with Nico Hernandez in his last TBL outing.
And Abreu continues to bring the heat as the final seconds tick away. Been a good one, round number 2. And will his pressure be rewarded?
TBL fans, the winner of round 2 by way of unanimous decision, from the Miami Assassins, Victor Abreu.
So Victor Abreu evens it up for Miami.
Round 3 at featherweight. For Miami, it is Alessandra Pajuelo Valle matching up against Atlanta's Kellyanne Knight.
Valle is 10-4 in the TBL. Lost to Montserrat Carrera. Does have 2 wins over Tierra Brandt, who was one of the shining new faces on the circuit last year.
Hi, boy, she's coming out blasting here, really trying to get into Kellyanne Knight's space.
Whoa,
wow.
And she got a little too close to that space. Bombs away. We said this could be it, and she's hurt. Has Kellyanne Knight delivered a 4-pointer, barely beating the count, but the referee will look very closely. It looks like it will be a challenge for her to continue. She will not. 1 punch. What did we say in the highlights at the beginning about the bombs? And here we see it from Kellyanne Knight. Wow.
And not only was that punch authoritative, I think there might be another injury even to the leg of Valle. And that was even more of a reason for her to stop fighting, and they're checking that out.
Yes, as she got up, she was able to beat the count, and then she was battling that injury. And this is
oh, that's a shame.
Here's
where it happened. Coming in and getting countered with a phenomenal right hand, and awkwardly going to the canvas. Valle injured one of her legs, I think her right leg. And boy, for Kellyanne Knight, a very, very impressive performance.
Okay, she has split with Brooke Evans in her debut, and yeah, this is a signature victory.
And gentlemen, the winner of round 3 by way of TKO at 39 seconds. 4 points going to Kellyanne Knight.
Talked about fireworks. We've got it right away. And
round 4 will be in the lightweight division. For Miami, it is Napoles matching up against Desmond Lions of Atlanta.
we're seeing our share of one-punch KOs with the women as well. 2 on the Atlanta team, of course, now with Ariel Davis before, but this bodes well. Napoles beat Malik Clark and Jack Sambiaku to open the season.
And he scored a knockdown against Malik Clark, and Desmond Lyons scored a knockdown in his win, or one of his 2 wins over Dakota Ime. So these 2 got into the power display in the season during week 2. Napoli's winging that overhand right, which is his best power punch.
All right, Amelia Moore is standing by with Money Powell. Go ahead.
So I'm here with Money Powell of the Atlanta Attack. Money, you are stepping up to cruiserweight, and usually you fight 175, and you're stepping up to be able to actually fill a weight class that we didn't have anybody in for Atlanta. That's incredible. I feel like it's a heck of a testament of the type of athlete that you are.
Most definitely. Yeah, you know, we needed somebody to cover, and me and Uniski actually have fought before. You know, he's a great fighter, tremendous fighter. He's gonna bring the fight, and I love fighting other good fighters. I love it. So, of course, you know, the opportunity presented itself, I'm going to take it. And plus, I ain't got to worry about cutting no weight, so who don't like to eat? You know what I mean?
I love that. You know, and I want to ask you, realistically, you said you fought him before. What do you think that you have that brings that real advantage? And I just have to mention again, the fact that you're like, I love fighting good fighters. That's how you know you're an elite athlete.
Most definitely. Well, to be completely honest with you, I feel I'm just confident in my training. I got my coach in my corner, Coach Jay, and the training I've been doing, it's just prepped me to feel like, honestly, anybody I'm in front of, I'm confident in, because I know I've done the proper preparation. And, you know, I look forward to it, and I really just feel like tonight I'm going to do something great.
Incredible. I'm excited to see you. I'm glad we got you on interview, and do your thing, man.
Thank you. Big fan of you as well.
Thank you, sir. Have a great round, man. Dave, get us back in the ring. Got some action in there.
All right, we've got a barn burner with Lions and Napoles. They are throwing not only just big shots, but also well-executed, perfectly timed big shots.
Yeah, and Napoles, you know, his right hand sometimes is a little wide, but boy, it's a good roundhouse right. And you're right, every punch these guys are throwing, and we mentioned they both scored knockdowns in week 2, so they're looking to do it again. And I think Napoles had Lions stunned for a moment or 2 during the round.
I think there's a carryover effect when you get a knockdown the week before. And you're going in, you have a whole week to think about it. You say, hey, you know, I'm going for that again.
And Napoles, I'm sure, aware that, you know, their team got down because of the 4-point fight that preceded him. He wants to get those 4 points back.
And at worst, settle for 1. We'll see how the judges have it. This was a great battle between 2 guys that had hunting the whole way.
And we see Napoles with that right hand. That was where he stunned Desmond Lions and went after him. Lions did a pretty good job of defense, shelling up with his defense and stopping the other shots.
Fans, the winner of round 4 by unanimous decision. From Miami, Napoles.
So Napoles gets 1 back for Miami after Atlanta gets the bomb from Kaylee Ann Knight. It is 5-2 Atlanta. We are just getting warmed up. Team Boxing League. Stay with us.
Also, don't forget to stream every moment of TBL Season 4 live on the Team Boxing League app, available on Apple TV 4K, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, as well as iPhone, and Android devices. Don't miss a second of TBL Team Boxing League action. Round 5 is on the way.
You take a look at downtown Hotlanta, and tonight it is the Atlanta Attack and the Miami Assassins. It is hot inside as well. Let's get back to it.
We begin round 5 at welterweight. For Miami, Darius Jackson. For Atlanta, Javon Davis.
Darius Jackson, 10-0, 7 knockouts from Louisiana. He's the Hawk. And 20-10 in TBL. TBL original.
And fighting a man with lots of experiences as well. Between these two fighters, because Javon Davis is 29-10, they have 69 combined fights in the TBL. It's pretty amazing.
And Davis also, you see, a 3-time Michigan State champion. All types of credentials, and this is the type of matchup you really want to see. Two fighters pretty much at the top of their games right now.
Yeah, and very skilled at this format, and both looking for a victory here. It's a season debut for Darius Jackson.
Interesting that Javon Davis has that great pro record of 8-0-1. Takes you back to 2019, showing how even if you're accomplished, it's hard to get fights. So this is a platform that he slid into.
And he's been in 39 fights with the TBL. And, you know, every fight outside of TBL that he's won has been by knockout. And you can get them there. It's hard to get them here, but we've seen some. And right now, you know, this fight's been fought on pretty even terms. The height and reach and left-handed style of Jackson has been a little bit of an impediment for Davis.
A little microcosm of what they're trying to do. The jab by Jackson, which scored, and the right hand counter by Davis. They just missed, but by an inch, as did that one.
It's almost, you feel like both men are dangerously close to landing something really big, and they've landed some good shots, but not the shot.
Hey, in the one-round format, you can see how it really can affect a precise power puncher a lot. Somebody who maybe by rounds 2 or 3 has it down pat, but is just missing here in round 1.
And you have to set those up. There's the overhand right of Davis, which he has a good one. And Darius Jackson has switched back and forth a little bit from righty to lefty back to his normal stance.
Davis walking from one side to the other, did not get Jackson to bite and drop his hands.
He wanted that, didn't he? Boy, both blasting away.
Good left hand by Jackson, and Davis will not get cheated on his either. That's a little tap it up. It was a real good effort by both fighters. Nobody's going to get a point taken away. You don't have to lobby now.
Right. Some discussion about what was kind of maybe a late right hand by Davis. Davis landed earlier in the round, had landed that right hand. And that was the punch he was looking at, but the straight left, of course, coming back from Jackson. And there's the end where the referee, well, they both landed right hands because the referee was slow in getting in there.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 5 by split decision. From the Miami Assassins, Darius Jackson.
They may not play well in Atlanta, but that's a good
round
fair
6
call.
at super welterweight. Miami will feature Yoelis Molina. Atlanta, Amina Mitchell.
All right, so it's now 5-3. Miami has crawled right back into it, having endured a knockout administered by Kellyanne Knight back in round number 3.
Molina making his season 4 debut, and Mitchell had a big opening night this year with a KO in one and a knockdown in the other, a 5-point ad for his team as he beat Harold Jackson twice.
Well, this team is loaded up with sluggers.
Yeah, really is. Well, really, they both are. But, yeah, Atlanta has got some big hitters.
And we've already seen one with Kellyanne Knight, and the way these styles are matched up, we certainly could see more.
And if you put 5 points on the board for your team like Mitchell did, that's really, that makes you valuable. I mean, that's a big portion of the points scored by a team.
You know, 5 points like that, that's 5 decisions.
Yeah.
You know, that could, you have to win more than half the launch rounds to match what that is, that power. And it's really an extraordinary benefit to teams that have it.
Molina, outside of TBL, has 4 straight first-round knockouts in the rest of the pro ranks for him, so he'd like to do that again.
That's a slip. It will not be counted as a knockdown. Always important to see how these are called by the officials.
And Molina's on a 6-fight winning streak here in team boxing, so he's wanting to keep that going and get his team even closer. It's been a close round, too.
Yeah, good tactics as well. And now opening up is Mitchell.
Molina's gotten that kind of overhand left in a couple of times, but not as much as I think he wants in this fight.
Molina's stalking, trying to get off first. Final seconds. And a walk down Mitchell. Well, he landed 4 punches in the final seconds. Will they help him in the final analysis? We will soon see.
Well, they don't count takedowns in boxing, so otherwise Mitchell would have gotten an extra point. But and he wasn't penalized, which could have also happened. They battled away in this round. There weren't a lot of big shots landed, but people tried, and that left hand landed, and then the right hand for Mitchell. So each man got in a couple of good shots, and as you point out, there was a little rally right at the end of that round.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 6 by unanimous decision from the Atlanta Tech, Amina Mitchell.
So Amin Mitchell continues to be a points machine for Atlanta.
We could look back at that and say it might have been a pivotal round because it kept them ahead by a little bit more.
They were up by 2, and then he made it
round 7
extend a little momentum.
At middleweight for Miami, it is Giovanni Estella. For Atlanta, Tashawn Prather.
Giovanni Estella, 7-5 in the TBL, beat Raymond Talib on March 28th. He's called El Rayo for the lightning bolt. And he is 15-2 in a career that goes back to 2020. Did have a 6-round win back on March 13th, so he's been active and in the gym.
And he got a knockdown in that Talib fight that helped create an extra point for his team.
Good stiff jab there by Estella against Prather, who's making his first fight in the TBL this year. Good jab by Estella. Keeping control of the ring.
Stella has 2 wins over Isaiah Elrod, a boxer who has made steady strides, and we're looking forward to seeing him back in TBL, but those are good wins for him.
They're part of like a wave of fighters who are good.
Yeah.
And they're kind of at that same level. You mentioned Elrod, you mentioned him.
Yeah, and we see the improvement in them. The overhand right by Estella is something he likes to use, and he tried it there. Prather's been a little bit slow on the uptick offensively in this fight.
Good slashing jab by Prather. Prather tried to time a good shot behind the jab of Estella.
You know, the recurring theme in this round has been both men just missing with the right hand. They both relied on it, and there you see a good, they both threw it again, and neither man got there with it, even though Estella set it up with the jab.
The jab is either a range finder for one fighter or a key to a counter for the other fighter.
Exactly, yeah. That's precisely the case. And you never know which it's going to be, right?
Also showing some preschool technique by both fighters. They're not lunging in. They're going to try to do it behind the jab, and that is going to count as a knockdown through the ropes, and it's over.
I did not see what exactly landed. He went down hard. I think there was a right hand in there somewhere.
With a shot.
Yeah. But I think Prather was distressed that it got stopped when he got up so quick. He's not understanding why he wasn't given a chance to continue. Well, let's take a look at it. First, to figure out how he was knocked down. Yeah, beautiful right hand.
He's through.
Now, I think Prather's big beef here is that it looked like he was beating the count. Happy in moments on the bench for sure for Miami.
So that would be a 2-point differential when you're looking at it. You have conjecture because the knockdown already would have counted, but it would become 4 and not 2. And he may believe he didn't get a chance to beat it. If he did, he would have barely beaten it. And he was out of the ring too. So
yeah, his head was out, but it was pretty close as to whether he beat the count or not, or if there had been a count. Either way, big win for Miami.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 2 minutes 57 seconds of the 7th round for your winner by KO victory. 4 points going to the Miami Assassins. Compliments of Giovanni Estella.
Terrific break for Miami and a heartbreak for Atlanta with only 3 seconds left in the round.
Our final launch round at heavyweight for Miami, Nestor Santana. For Atlanta, it is Samuel Clarkson.
We talk about the diversity of bouts in the league. We have some fights we've done with no knockdowns until the very end. We've had 2 knockouts in the launch rounds here.
Well, we said going in, power could be the story tonight, and so far it kind of has been.
And each team has staked themselves to a 4-point feast, resulting in Miami now being up 7-6 for the final launch rounds.
And this one could be one of those many fun heavyweight bouts that we see on Team Boxing League. Santana, we showed you how he used that right hand to score a big knockout victory over Kenyon Walker. And Clarkson, a good puncher, though he didn't score a knockdown or a knockout. He beat Stephen Moss and Terrell Woods in week 2, and it was impressive.
Looping shot, good right hand here by Santana.
Clarkson's left-handed style, different for not a lot of heavyweights are lefties, although we've seen several already this season. And Santana will crank up that right hand as he did earlier that you commented on. It's going to come with that.
Even his jab here in this round has been purposeful, not just to get it out there, but it's been pretty stiff.
Clarkson's up at heavyweight. He had been at lower weights during parts of his career, and even faced Jesse Hart at one point. We know from this league as a light heavyweight, 168-pounder.
7-6 Miami. Fight that we rejected. Could be very close and go down to the wire. Has been compelling thus far. Each team with a knockout. And the heavyweights going for broke here.
And Nestor Santana often underuses his jab, but not tonight. And it's set up. There you see it. And it's setting up right hands to both the body and the head. I've done a number of his pro fights outside of TBL, and Herman Caicedo, who trains him, has said if he would just use that jab better, he would set up those right hands. And he's been doing that, though Clarkson is also firing back.
So both fighters doing a lot of things well. As we head down to the final countdown and their last chance to make a case. Been a pretty good pace for heavyweights.
Absolutely. The volume of punching by them has been pretty good. Boy, Clarkson has found a home for that right hook now. He keeps bouncing it off Mr. Santana's head.
All right, so reluctant acknowledgement of each other as they hit to the end.
And as we revisit this, Santana and Clarkson, really parts of this were a pitched battle, and there was an example that was toward the end of the round, and then Clarkson had himself a really good rally right at the end of the round. In this sequence, Santana had done well early in the round.
Round 8 by way of split decision from the Miami Assassins, Nestor Santana.
So the comeback from Clarkson at the end of that round did
Your
not
score
result
at the end
in
of the launch rounds. It is
win for him. Instead, Nestor Santana gets the win, and we're looking forward to the middle round, and we're looking forward to a lot of the action coming up on TBL. And to tell us all about it, here's Dave Bontempo.
Hey, Al, we're really enjoying the excitement tonight. And then we can't wait for what we've got in TBL Week 5. We've got some great regional matchups and rivalries. The Boston Butchers and the New York City Attitude going at it. They've had a lot of great trash talking through the years and very close matches. And then the new look San Antonio squad with 2 victories taking on Las Vegas. Can San Antonio get another big victory? They beat LA last time. And Los Angeles and Nashville will close out our week. So some traditionally good teams and some teams on the rise. Watch us all year on Team Boxing League.
On the throne, say what I'm on, she gon' kick from 11.
We are thoroughly enjoying this one in Atlanta, as advertised. Miami and Atlanta, two high-level teams, giving us a high-level performance. Dave Fontempo along with Al Bernstein. We saw quite a great launch rounds. And what was that at the top about power? I do believe that came in here somewhere.
We may have mentioned that. And, you know, that power put Miami down early in the launch rounds, but they refused to quit. They came back with their own power and made it and ultimately got the lead.
Let's see how Miami was able to make it 8-6, because early on it looked like it was going to be a difficult night for them after Kellyanne Goodnight had something to say in this contest.
In round 3 against Ali Valle, Valle was attacking from the beginning but ran into this terrific overhand right. Not only got knocked out, injured as well as she went down, but for Kellyanne Knight, very impressive victory for her. And then in round 7, we saw more power from Giovanni Estella, and he came after Prather, hit him with a big right hand, knocked him down. The referee called it a knockout. Prather complained a little about not having a chance to get up, but it's a 4-pointer for Miami, and that evened things out.
The twists and turns of a highly competitive and a good match is that the knockout occurred with 3 seconds to go in that. So circle that as far as the timing goes. Now, in the middle rounds, what's your middle rounds to watch?
Well, let's take a look at round 11, primarily because it features Ariel Davis, who's going after her 23rd win in team boxing. She is a star in this league, and she's taking on a newcomer, Sofia Veretti, who last week had to face a tough assignment against Brianna Carrera. She now goes from the frying pan into the fire.
We saw what Ariel Davis did last week against the newcomer. What about in the middle rounds? Let's find out about the middle rounds and go inside.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the middle rounds. First up for the Miami Assassins at featherweight, it is Samantha Ginnethan. For the Atlanta Tech, Alyssa Bolts.
All right, Ginnethan and Bolts getting us started in the middle rounds. Ginnethan, Las Cruces, New Mexico, 12-0, 3 knockouts, amateur, 13-10 TBL. Take a further look at Samantha Ginnethan and what she has brought to it. Cuban National, pardon me for that, 2024 TCL Rookie of the Year finalist. So that's a good performance by this veteran fighter now.
Yeah, 2-time national Golden Gloves champion. I mentioned Brianna Carrera earlier. She beat Brianna Carrera in the Golden Gloves and in the U.S. National Championships. That's a tough task for anybody.
Yeah, we've seen what Carrera's done in this league, so
yes,
that's pretty impressive.
Now, Alyssa Bolts is a pretty good boxer with a jab and a right hand, but has been a little susceptible to pressure fighters in TBL.
The double jab here by Ginnethan.
He's been a very experienced fighter over the last 2 seasons in team boxing, and you get the feeling she's settling in for a good season. You know, she got a win over Michaela Rampage in the season opener, and very aggressive in this round.
Cutting off the ring smartly as well. She's able to flow fluidly and make Bolts reload.
Alyssa Bolts is, you know, she wants to get that right hand in, but has just been very cautious in this fight and has been kind of mesmerized by the pressure of Ginnethan.
Moving in and out, side to side. There's a couple of very subtle veteran moves that she did at high speed.
In Bolts' win over Jennifer Klaus's to open the season, she was able to move her movement effectively and punch from the outside. Hasn't been able to do that as well against Samantha Ginnethan.
Ginnethan swarming, putting the pressure on, and then following her, slicing up the ring effectively.
And Ginnethan is working to both the body and the head. She has just been very diverse in the way she's attacked also.
Fighting like she wants more, but there's no more time. And so this will go to a decision. Very surgical performance by Ginnethan.
Yeah, great effort by this 35-year-old veteran who, as we said, has just a huge amount of experience here in team boxing, and she's a really good straight puncher. And she's adding some
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 9 by way of unanimous decision from the Miami Assassin, Samantha Ginnethan.
So Ginnethan puts Miami out to a 3-point lead. I think you would have thought was a little remotely trailed 5-1.
At lightweight for Miami, it is Claudio Marrero. For Atlanta, Trequan Pettis.
All right, Claudio Marrero, the Matrix, 28-5, 20 knockouts, 4 wins in a row. He had a streak of fighters, 7 fighters that he fought, and a combined record of 77 and 28.
Yeah, he's been in with some good fighters over his long pro career of over 30-some fights in the pro ranks outside of TBL, and very experienced here as well.
Been as far as 12 rounds. So he lost a 12-round fight to Xavier Martinez back in 2020. So he has the stamina, but also the adjustment demand for the one-round TBL format.
Yeah, I announced that fight, and Guerrero was just always been, I love his nickname, the Matrix. It's kind of appropriate for him. Trequan Pettis, you know, he's 8-2 in team boxing, and he's got good hand speed. He's really a good combination puncher, and his beating Dakota Aime to start off the season was a good win for him.
Waiting for the bomb to go off. It's been set. Back and center. Looking to throw one big shot here.
Because it's been a technical, slow-paced first round, yeah, 1 or 2 punches here and there can make a big difference.
They're trying to get inside that height and reach of Pettis. It's always interesting to see how fighters are trying to get rid of that reach disadvantage.
Yeah, Moreau's not the kind of guy that will rush in to do it. He usually jabs his way in when he's in against a taller fighter. He tries there, but walks into a right hand by Pettis.
Pettis just keeping the jab out there.
Well, you can't keep your hands any lower than Moreau. It's not possible. And Pettis would love to get in something, but against Moreau, it's not that easy, even when he's not using a high guard defense.
Now easy to throw that ollie up jab. So many try. Some fighters will keep their hands down there, and they like that quick flick upward. This is one where the style of the opponent is difficult for Moreau. And his best hope, Pettis, who missed it with those 2 shots, would then come straight in, but he didn't. He went back.
It's not going to be an easy round to judge because of really the lack of volume and effective offensive work. You know, they're ramping things up here at the end a little bit.
So it really will come down possibly to who looked like they were pressing the pace. Talk about effective aggression. This will now be the perception of aggression.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good phrase.
Thanks.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 10 by way of split decision. From the Miami Assassins, Claudio Amarero.
Miami up by 4. That was a
round 11.
Tough one on Atlanta.
For Miami, Sofia Veretti. For Atlanta, Ariola Davis.
Right. After last week, you could think her name could be Ariel Don't Blink Davis. So let's see if it goes out that way against Sofia Veretti. Dave Pontempo and Al Bernstein, and we'll be joined by Amelia Moore to take us through this round.
Ringside in the action, Dave.
Yeah,
I feel like with Atlanta, they're always waiting just to be able to see Ariel come in. You know, she's an absolute foundation block of this team.
Oh, there's that right hand that we saw last week.
Yeah, if you're Sam Arnold right now, you're happy to have this woman in a spot where she can kind of get you back into things.
Absolutely, and you know, Sophia's really leading low with that lead hand, and it's just prime time for Ariel to come right to the top, which we've already seen 2 times.
And attempted third.
And Ariel's speed, you know, that's going to be the thing, is the athleticism and the speed, you know, that Sophia has to keep up with.
Amelia, do you sense in some matchups, if a team does not have a lot of power, a 4-point lead, a deficit that they have to overcome might seem like a lot? But it would seem like a different story with Atlanta with all their bangers.
I mean, they have so much power. I mean, it's something that we see over and over again. Beautiful overhand right landing yet again by Ariel. But, I mean, to echo what you just said, without doubt, they have such strong, powerful athletes on their team.
Well, she did it the last time out, knocking out Jenny Smith. And Veretti, while she lost her 2 bouts in the opener, did not go down.
Ariel Davis has been one of the most consistent fighters in this league. Amelia won 12 in a row and then started another streak after that. What do you think has been the key for her being so successful?
She's fast, she's got good footwork, she's in and out, and she's starting to really build into her strength. So, I mean, when you've got all those tools in the toolbox, it just outsteps and outshines a lot of other athletes that are just lagging behind.
And there's that good right hand again.
If we're going to see a knockdown or a knockout here on behalf of Davis, it's going to come from that overhand right.
Without doubt.
We're curious about one thing, Amelia. When you land one big shot and you knock an opponent out 1 week, is it something you may go to the next week? Do you think about it?
You know, you have to. I mean, you have to use the tool, like the big tools that you have. She knows she has in her back pocket, but you can't be one-dimensional, right? And that's what separates really great athletes from good athletes. You know, if you're only using that big hand, everyone knows it's coming. So you got to start getting smarter and learn how to use other stuff so that the setup comes a little bit more naturally.
Reddy has come forward this whole fight, but just has not been able to land effectively.
All right, so they embrace with the sportsmanship, and then we will see how the judges have it.
Well, right near the end of the round, and we'll watch this in real time, you see Davis, and what do we talk about? The right hand, she got it in there, but Sofia Veretti able to take those very well. She's never really stunned by any of those big shots.
Boxing League fans, the winner of round 11 by way of unanimous decision from the Atlanta Tech, Ariel Davis.
So Ariel Davis becomes the stopper for Atlanta when they needed her to step up. And now Atlanta crawls back within 3.
Welterweight round 12 for Miami, Estudio Suero. From Atlanta, Morgan Griggy.
Suero is 2-2. This is his debut for this year. Split with Dizlan Gainza last year. That's a good fighter that he went up against. 15-3 as a pro with 10 knockouts going back to 2019. And his last 7 opponents were 99-14.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and he went 4-3 against those guys. All right, Amelia has an interview with us.
We are ringside here with Darius Jackson, and I have to say, such a beautiful round against Javon Davis. I mean, Javon is a very seasoned athlete, but your athleticism and your IQ and your speed seem to be such assets. Kind of take us through that round exactly, you know, to be able to really kind of outpace and be able to come out with that win.
I mean, it was hard work, dedication at the end of the day. I know Javon's a hell of a fighter. We've been watching each other every single season since the first season, so we know that we knew we was going to meet up at one point, at some point. So.
Any thoughts on adjustments moving into the next round to keep securing that next win?
I'm going to just stick to the game plan that me and my coaches have. So continue with that game plan, and if we need to make adjustments, we will.
Consistency is key. That's how you win. We look forward to seeing you in the money rounds against Javon Davis, making more magic.
Absolutely. Let's go. You know what time it is? Hawk time. Let's go, baby.
Dave, Al, get us back in the ring.
Okay, halfway through this round, 10-7. Miami on top. And these two fighters trying to put more points up for their team.
Yeah, Morgan Griggy, the big southpaw for Atlanta, landed a nice right hook against Suero a little while ago, but and he's landing a straight left as well. And Suero's trying to get inside, but the length and reach are issues for him now, and the right hook of Griggy is becoming a big weapon.
He landed 2 nice ones and caught one coming back from Suero. He caught the straight right hand.
And Griggy lost his opener this year to Jasir Riley by a decision, but tonight he's been pretty sharp. Trying to ruin Suero's season 4 debut.
Has been effective getting that jab in and just getting far enough away from the right hand lead coming at him. He's seeing the playing field very well here.
Yeah, he really is, and you know, Suero's trying to get that right hand in, but Griggy has stymied that effort.
Okay, final seconds. Will it be Atlanta getting within a couple? Griggy believes so. His team believes so. But what do the judges say?
And here you take a look at the reach advantage helping Griggy as he stands at straight left. And there were moments where Suero was able to get on the inside and do a little work like that, but not too many.
TBL fans, the winner of round 12 by way of split decision. From the Atlanta Attack, Morgan Griggy.
All right, so Morgan Griggy makes it 2 in a row for Atlanta, and the Attack right back in it against the visiting Miami Assassins. Halfway through in our TBL. Stay with us.
Thank you, Joshua Butler, for coming out to tonight's TBL matchup between Miami and Atlanta. Also, don't forget White Band to stream every moment of TBL Season 4 live on the Team Boxing League app, available on Apple TV 4K, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV, as well as iPhone and Android devices. Don't miss a second of TBL Team Boxing League action. Also, Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Tonight's fights are powered by Balance of Nature. Our fighters fuel with 3 carbs and real ingredients, and you can too. Grab their guiltless snacks and get 35% off right now with code TEAM at balanceofnature.com. And Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery.
Halfway through the barn burner we expected. Let's start the second half. We'll go inside, and here is Ray Flores.
Round 13 will be at super middleweight. For Miami, Usman Ruiz. For Atlanta, Keandre Leatherwood.
All right, Ruiz and Leatherwood. Ruiz has a victory, TKO 2 on March 7th, 2026. He is 6-9 in the TBL, but 2-0 this year. Got off to a very good start. Now living in Boulder, Colorado via Cuba.
Both he and Leatherwood both got 2 wins in their debut in week 2. So they're both feeling confident coming into this fight. And, Leatherwood, the 37-year-old veteran, he's had over 30 pro fights outside of TBL. In these fights against Manuel Calhoun, Ruiz used the jab very effectively in his reach, and he's trying to do that in this fight as well.
Jab by Leatherwood, coming up a little bit short. And Ruiz trying to do something from long range.
Leatherwood carrying on a conversation with Ruiz. And Leatherwood's been in with top 168 pounders like Christian Nabili, who is now a champion, Terrell Gaisha, and Andy Lee. So he's faced some tough people as a pro.
And that does a lot for your seasoning, a lot for your confidence when you go someplace else.
You should say Terrell Gaisha. I don't want him to get mad at me.
If he does, he has to deal with it.
Okay, well,
is that all right?
I'm sure that's going to intimidate him, so there you go.
You tell him.
Okay.
A good right hand here by Ruiz.
Yeah, this round's been fascinating because Ruiz wanting it to be at long range and uses height and reach, and for the most part has done that, even though Leatherwood has occasionally gotten on the inside. And Leatherwood has a good overhand right, and he's trying to use it.
It's opening up a little bit more now. There's a good left hand by Ruiz.
Ruiz has probably had more volume punching in this round. He's just been busier.
Looking a little bit more comfortable with his distance.
And the problem for Leatherwood is when he's been on the inside, things like that happen where there's awkward action, he doesn't get really a chance to work, and it just kills part of the clock in this round.
It's one thing if you're up and you're killing the clock, that's not such a bad thing. But if he loses this, then that will not have been a good thing for him. Moments like this. That is a slip, but that does eat up a lot of clock and the end of the clock. All right, so good hustling effort.
Well, Ruiz, one of the Cuban fighters, a number of them that we see on the Miami roster, showing us from long range some good work in this, and there's some of that awkward action that we talked about that also happened during the course of this round.
TBL fans, winner of round 13 by split decision. From Atlanta, Keandre Leatherwood.
Split with Abimbola Asandairo on March 28th. Winning unanimous decision, losing a split. For a record of 9-1. He lost an 8-round decision in his last.
Yeah, Carbonell, quite, a solid TBL veteran with 23 wins overall. And he's boxed just about everybody in this league. He's got wins over Jesse Hart, Ronald Ellis, title contenders here in the TBL.
Now, if you can hold your own and get your share against the good fighters, you just come back the next week, whatever happens, and reload.
Pettis trying to cut the ring so that Carbonell can't use as much movement.
Atlanta has crawled back from being down 10-6 to having won the last 3. And the momentum swings you get when the good teams face each other, and we're seeing that here. Miami was down 5-1, came all the way back, built a 4-point lead, and now Atlanta has made it 1.
And if you're Herman Caicedo and you're facing that streak, you want a veteran like Carbonell and somebody who is very good, really good record, 23-9-1 in the TBL, right here to try and stop it. And Pettis not an experienced fighter in this league, and so they probably feel good about having Carbonell in here. And for the most part, he's kind of controlled this round. Maybe not done a ton of offensive work, but controlled the geography, that's for sure.
Some good work here by Carbonell, then pushing off. And takes a lead right hand from Pettis.
Pettis is trying to get that punch in and has thrown it, but mostly it's been short, but that one did get there.
Pettis trying to put his foot on the pedal here and get inside, and faces the lateral movement greeting him by Carbonell.
Pettis has done a pretty good job of slipping those straight lefts by Carbonell, but has not been able to really counter effectively when he does that. And there's the right hand short again for Pettis, but that's where he wanted Carbonell more in this fight. Only got him there at the end on the ropes.
All right, so they both had moments. One of them will get a W.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 14 by way of split decision, from the Miami Assassins, Isaac Carbonell.
So Carbonell breaks the hold Atlanta had in the last 4 and puts Miami back up by 2.
Round 15 will be at cruiserweight. Miami will feature Yuneski Gonzalez. For Atlanta, Money Powell.
Money Powell, 9-11 in the TBC, 2-0 this year, and has been up and down with some of the better names in the circuit.
Well, Money Powell had as good a round as as a good an outing as you could have with 2 wins over Shamar Bates. He scored a knockdown and then a knockout, getting 6 points for his team out of the 27 that they had in their win.
Amelia Moore joins us in this round. What are you expecting out of this one, Amelia?
Well, I mean, Yuneski knows that he has the weight advantage, right? He knows he potentially could have the strength advantage. So I think that's kind of having Money manage that and being able to use speed with good combinations is going to be the key.
Gonzalez scoring with the jab. Powell darting away.
Yeah, Powell's going to have to, even though he had that power burst in his last one, he's going to have to do what Emilio said and just really work things.
See that Powell, #1 in the USA, is an amateur. Team USA World Championships in St. Petersburg, Russia. Very well-traveled fighter.
And he's been so solid in the TBL and facing the 40-year-old kind of legend, Yuneski Gonzalez, who, has done so much in this league. Powell's using the jab very effectively here.
And I would say to lead on that, Al, something I really like about Powell is that he's able to not only use his footwork and his head movement, but he uses his hands to parry very, very well. And so being able to stay in that pocket and get these exchanges off.
Yeah, against the bigger man, although now Gonzalez is doing some pretty good work on the inside and using his own jab as well.
There's a right hand by Gonzalez, pushing Money Powell back. Looking to get inside to do damage. Gets up there with the jab. Then they trade right hands. Good quality shots.
Powell's counterpunching has been pretty good in this fight, and if he's going to get a victory in this, that's probably going to be the ticket to it.
And he loads up, avoids the big shot. So Gonzalez will try to set it up again.
Gonzalez likes to be a counterpuncher as well, but he's had to be the aggressor in this.
Which is, and how interesting is that? Really using the ring to be able to keep him from being able to set up, keeping Yuneski from setting up, and so key to be able to try to take some of that power off those shots.
Right, final seconds. Match is close. This is close. And now the judges have it.
Well, Money Powell, stepping up and wait for his team, which he outlined with Amelia, and fighting a very strategic fight. Both men did some good things. Both men used the jab very effectively, and Powell, understanding he's in against a bigger man, counterpunching very well with that right hand. And whether he won or not, he moved up and waited and stopped.
TBL fans, the winner of round 15 by way of unanimous decision. From Atlanta, Money Powell.
All right, so money is money. Big victory for Atlanta. Gets back within
Our final
one.
middle round in the heavyweight division for Miami. It is Gustavo Trujillo. For Atlanta, Devon Young.
It's Gustavo Trujillo, 8-0 in a career since 2019, 13-9 in the TBL, and 1-0 this year. Young is 2-0 this year. So it's a good matchup to finish out the middle rounds.
Yeah, it really is. A couple of heavyweights that, you know, are guys that can punch. Trujillo, the bare knuckles expert, 8-0 in bare knuckles, and he's a tough cookie.
Yeah, to be ranked number 1 and number 2 in the light heavyweight, cruiserweight, and heavyweight with these bare knuckle. Always interesting to see what other avenues fighters pursue, especially when they get into their 30s. Say, well, I'm going to do a few things here.
And Devin Young, you know, also obviously such a veteran of team boxing with that 19-6 record. He's somebody that understands this format and has done well at it.
Let's get to know Gustavo Trujillo a little better. Cuban national team at age 17. We talked about those rankings. Number 1 and number 2, light heavyweight bare knuckle. So a lot of credentials for this fighter.
Trujillo wants to get that right hand off. He's been trying to get it in, and it just hasn't quite gotten there. And there's an example, but then he works a good, nice combination, the body and the head. That was kind of a little Mike Tyson in his heyday, where he used to do that right to the body and then come with it to the head immediately.
So many of the subtleties that he had that went along with his power. I always loved how he could duck a punch first,
yeah,
and then explode.
Do that.
All right, so the big men have 50 seconds to try and do something dramatic.
Well, Young, one of the 6 fighters that was 2-0 the last time out for Atlanta, and he's trying to keep that going here. It's been a nip and tuck battle. Probably Trujillo's been a little bit busier than him. Whether that translates into winning the round is another question.
Really could come down to who lands a late shot. Trujillo ducks away. There's a couple body shots by Young, but Trujillo did have a tactical geographic edge. Let's see what that translates into when the judges come in.
Young finally getting that right hand home. He's been trying to land it, and it got there finally, right toward the end of the round.
All right, did Young make an impression with that last shot, or is Trujillo rewarded for what he did over the course of the 3 minutes? Fighters looking on, they don't have much of an idea
of
who won
round
it.
16, our final middle round by unanimous decision. From the Miami Assassins, Gustavo Trujillo.
So Trujillo, the bare knuckles, undefeated fighter, and certainly a force here in the TBL, keeps Miami ahead after the middle rounds. And speaking of what's ahead, as we look at the score, let's find out from Dave down by the tempo what's ahead for the TBL.
People keep asking us, where can we see Team Boxing League? Well, I can tell you, a lot of places where we have been seen. Watch our home network, Envoy TV, for all TBL matches live on Envoy Fast. Plus, the full season of Encores are on Envoy Fast and Envoy TV every day. Get the Envoy app at the Apple and Android stores or watch on the Local Now app. Envoy TV is available to subscribers of Spectrum and Friendly TV. Connected TV users with Samsung, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, and LG devices can download the TBL app and watch both live action and play previous matches on demand. TBL is also seen on YouTube, the TBL app, and in Spanish on the Estrella Network. Tell your friends.
Like my favorite guy is Bo Jackson. I love him, but you know, sorry, Bo Jones, sorry, but he's just crazy as all hell. You know what I mean?
Visiting Miami, clinging to a 12-10 lead over the Atlanta Attack through the middle rounds. A fight that has been tight and very well fought as advertised. Dave Bontempo and Al Bernstein with you. Al, you know that Miami is on top, but there were some points in that middle rounds where we got a chance to see Atlanta stay in it.
Yeah, they had a winning streak of 3 rounds right in a row that did help them get back in it, and they were vital.
And one of them was Ariel Davis. We saw her as the big bomb thrower, and she threw her share. But in this particular instance, she threw them and had a little bit more of a resilient target.
Yeah, she took, there's Davis, who took on Sofia Veretti, who had lost 2 fights in her debut in TBL, but showed a toughness, and she showed that again tonight. Davis able to land those big right hands that the week before, or 2 weeks before, had scored a knockout, but it didn't this time. But she did get the decision that kind of helped Atlanta crawl back a little bit. And then another match that did was when Money Powell came in round 15, moved up to cruiserweight to take on Yuneski Gonzalez, the 40-year-old who is such a tough cruiserweight. Money Powell fought a very strategic and smart fight and won that decision.
Okay, so one person named Money and one person who just is Money, doing very well for Atlanta. Now we go into the money rounds, the last 8 here. Very tight match. What's the one to watch?
Yeah, let's take a look at 24, the final match round of this match. Yosio Napoles, who won his first fight, taking on Triquan Pettis, who lost his first fight against Claudio Moreira, but that was one of the split decisions that we saw, so that certainly demonstrates he fought well.
We are ready for the money rounds. Let's send it inside, and here is Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the money rounds between Miami and Atlanta. At super lightweight for the Miami Assassins, Sofia Veretti. For the Atlanta Attack, Ariel Davis.
Well, we've seen this one before. So now let's see how it plays out in the money rounds. The decision by Ariel Davis. A two-pointer as we head into the money rounds here.
And, you know, this is one of 2 fights in a row where, you know,
already MMA champion and a jiu-jitsu blue belt. Always curious and interesting how the fighters transform from other disciplines. In the jiu-jitsu, you spend a lot of time on the mat, and now you have to get up and become a striker. So a lot of talent for Veretti, and going up against one of the most talented fighters in the league in Ariel Davis.
We've seen a couple of women in this season coming from MMA and Muay Thai and some other disciplines and doing pretty well, even in fights they may not win. And I think Veretti kind of is in that category. She's kind of with another big right hand from Davis, but you can tell she's a work in progress as a boxer, Veretti, but she's got toughness, that's for sure.
And when she's not fighting Ariel Davis, she might have some better opportunities for her down the road, too. She's going to get her share of victories.
Yeah, she got a couple of tough draws in Brianna Carrera and then Ariel Davis. That Davis right hand, you know, it's laser. She so much it helped create a knockout in week 2, and she'd love to get one here.
The way she plants and sets, every right hand has a potential to be a knockout for her.
And she has such a good jab that it helps set up that right hand when you see it.
Yes, we don't see her lunging with that right hand. We see her stepping into it.
Even when she throws it as a lead right, for the most part, she's good balance. Veretti's having a little bit better offensive round here at this portion of the round than she did in the first one or at the beginning of this. So you can feel her getting a little bit of momentum.
Davis tries to catch Veretti coming in and then moves laterally.
They will work with Veretti and trying to jab her way in instead of just using head movement to come in because that would help her a lot. But Davis landing some big right hands. And we would think probably added another point to Atlanta's total to get them a little closer. And here we'll take a look back at how those overhand rights continually landed against Veretti. I think she took some shots from Carrera in week 2 and has taken some from Davis and showed a lot of toughness.
Very rugged customer.
Of round 17 by way of unanimous decision. From the Atlanta Tech, Ariel Davis.
So the points machine, Ariel Davis, adds 1 to Atlanta, and here we are, a 1-pointer again with now
Round
Sosa
18,
and Hampton.
At bantamweight for Miami, it is Samantha Sosa. For Atlanta, Jasmine Hampton.
Well, this is a rematch of round 1, which went very well with Jasmine Hampton.
Wow, she comes running out.
The momentum is contagious.
Yeah, apparently. You know, Sosa, the one bright spot for Sosa was she was able to get in some nice right hands. And guess what? She just got one in. They weren't enough to get her decision win, but she's going to try and up that and see if she can get more of them in.
And a good number of those right hands came in the final 45 seconds of that first round. So she picked up something that she's trying to carry over.
And she gets in a nice left hook. Hampton very aggressive here. And I'm not even sure that's the style that I've seen Jasmine Hampton use as much as a pro. She's usually she doesn't rush in like she's doing now. She will be aggressive, but at a mid-distance.
Hampton trying to bring Atlanta all the way back into a tie or better. Both teams have enjoyed 4-point leads in this contest.
And as we assumed it would be, nip and tuck and back and forth for these two teams.
They kept coming back. Atlanta was up 5-1. Miami gets a knockout. Miami's up 10-6. And Atlanta grinds its way back to within 1 point here, with a chance to tie.
Hampton has used his straight left hand pretty well, but Sosa has also countered with her right hand. And there she does it on cue.
Sosa has made Hampton pay a little bit more of a price for coming in.
Yeah,
this time.
She did it in the first encounter. You're right, and Hampton has been a little more willing to rush in than she was in the first round. And you know, the Sosa left hook, which we haven't talked about, but she's not a left hook artist, has landed as well. Whether this is enough to offset the volume of Hampton, I don't know. But boy, there's another right hand that got in for Sosa. She's in this round anyway.
Another good right hand by Sosa.
This round's had more action than their first round, and more two-way action for sure. You feel Samantha Sosa's feeling it a little bit.
I'm doing better. I'm landing more. And it is an emotional sport. When you feel like you're doing well, you're going to get charged up. So Sosa did well in this one. Is it well enough to get her a point? We will soon see.
This could easily be another one of the split decisions for this evening. We've had 4 of them already. And here's Hampton coming in, landing the hook. And that was some good offensive work she did early. There were also moments where there was some good countering. The Miami folks are
Team Boxing League fans,
happy.
the winner of round 18 by unanimous decision from the Atlanta Tech, Jasmine Hampton.
All the way back to even. Hampton makes it a double.
Round 19 at featherweight for Miami, Victor Abreu. Atlanta will feature Marcel Bonner.
Rematch of round number 2, captured by Abreu.
And the pendulum swings because now if you're Herman Caicedo, though it wasn't the kind of performance, although Abreu looked really good, I thought, in that last round. There were some good things done by Bonner, but if you're Herman Caicedo, you're saying, okay, we need to stem the tide here. Victor Abreu could be my guy for that.
Yeah, and that's part of the thinking in where do you put your big fighters. This is where the coaches come in the money rounds. The jockeying, and you're looking at your opponent and where can we get an edge? Are we deeper in an area that they are, that we can force that type of a match into the money rounds? And this is one of those critical junctures here.
And they have to make those decisions before the evening happens, so they don't know who's going to win. Did Abreu dominate Bonner at the beginning? They don't know that when they make that decision.
Well, yeah, you don't know how close it will be, but this one has had the idea of being close even before we got here, and it has been close all the way throughout, and here we are even with 6 fights to go.
Bonner's switching a lot from lefty to righty. He's done that. Abreu is still attacking as he always does. That's the way he fights.
So Atlanta has won both of the money rounds. And they've split 8 rounds, and you see they've each got 1 KO. You said close. This is razor thin close.
You know, the Bonner strategy of switching has helped him defensively, but I don't know if it's helped him offensively. It's made it a little more difficult sometimes for Abreu to get in and land his shots, but it hasn't always, especially from the lefty stance, hasn't always allowed Bonner to do good offensive things.
So you make a change, or you give up something and you get something. He's trying to force some kind of a change, and you're right, there is a price for that.
This round, Abreu's offense has been a little less effective than the first time they met. He's still been busier and maybe landed more, but not as much as in the first meeting between the two. But he's aggressive and he keeps coming forward.
Yeah, one of the things that's not described a whole lot, but there is a stamina factor as Abreu starts to tee off here. Your second round in, maybe not quite as much in the tank in the final minute of that, and it does come into play.
Yeah, and there's the layoff factor as well during the evening.
Some fighters like longer times away. Some fighters like to get right back there while so they don't cool down. And this is into the hands of the judges now. And
well, the Miami bench thinks that Victor Abreu's aggression is enough to get him the decision, and it could well be. Certainly he was the busier of the two fighters. He pushed Bonner back for most of the round. Some counters got in from Bonner, but not that many.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 19 by way of unanimous decision from the Miami Assassins, Victor Abreu.
So Abreu puts Miami ahead in front. 13-12 now.
Round 20 at lightweight for Miami. It is Claudio Marrero. For Atlanta, Desmond Lyons.
All right, so Marrero and Lyons. We've got 5 matches left in regulation. So let's take a look at that scoring system as it has come to show up tonight. In the TBL, 1 point for decision, 2 for a knockdown. You get 3 for 2 knockdowns and 4 for a knockout, TKO, DQ, or forfeit. We've already had 2 4-round totals in one fight tonight. They've offset each other, so each team has gotten one. But that graphic is important down the stretch, as now in a 1-point fight, 1 knockdown changes a lot. A 4-pointer, of course, is super important, but everything matters, and the knockdown counts. That's big. So now, sudden impetus.
And Marrero not thought of always as a power puncher. He got the job done there.
The money rounds bomb delivered.
Although he does have 20 KOs in boxing and his 28 wins, but his bigger, more important fights, he's been more of a strategic fighter. And here that knockdown is, as Dave said, very huge.
Especially now we're into the last 5 fights. So the impact of them coming in before there's too much time to get that back.
Marrero is using that right hook surgically as a check hook, and even when he's being the aggressor.
Marrero with the head movement, saw nothing, and so he ties up.
And ironically, it was Lyons who, in his last TBL appearance in week 2, he had the knockdown of Dakota Ime that got his team an extra point, but he's the victim of it here tonight right now.
And we see a lot of that with fighters, especially aggressive ones, who will, have a feast one night and then a famine another time. And that also shows about the competitive depth in the league. All right, so an extra point will go on the board. Marrero seemed pretty happy about that. Well, he should be.
Well, Claudio Marrero, the 37-year-old veteran who brings so much experience both in and out of the TBL to this, used that right hook that we talked about there to send Desmond Lyons down, and that is huge.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of round 20 by way of unanimous decision. 2 points going to Miami's Claudio Marrero.
All right, so Claudio Marrero opens the gates a little bit for Miami, and this is how he did it. Miami up 15-12. We've got 4 rounds to go.
Recovery and self-discovery. Tonight's fights are powered by Balance of Nature. Our winners deal with 3 carbs and real ingredients, and now you can too. Grab their yoga snacks and get 35% off right now. Go team at balanceofnature.com. Also, stream every moment of TBL Season 4 live on the Team Boxing League app, available for free on Apple TV 4K, Roku, and Amazon Fire TV, as well as iPhone and Android devices. Don't miss a second of TBL Team Boxing League action. Also, don't forget, we will be back here on Sunday, May 10th at the Hawaiian and Philadelphia. TeamBoxingLeague.com for ticket information. That is at the Shriners here in Atlanta. It is Atlanta and Philadelphia on Sunday, May 10th.
Miami's up 15-12 on the host Atlanta attack, and it's maybe getting late for them. Let's take it inside now and down the home stretch. Here is Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, at round 21 of the money rounds, we have heavyweights. First up from Miami, Gustavo Trujillo. For Atlanta, Samuel Clarkson.
All right, so Trujillo and Clarkson, drama all the way in this matchup. 3-point separation. Miami in a terrific spot if there are no knockouts to impede that. Ready to start number 21, Dave Bontempo and Al Bernstein. And here is Amelia Moore with a special guest.
Here we go. We are down ringside here with my girl Jasmine Hampton, an old teammate for me on Team USA. You had such a powerful first round. Really, she just couldn't close the distance. And then the second round, it looked like she was trying to give you a little bit more, but you still were able to come out with that victory.
Sure, yeah, she was a tough opponent, very tough, you know, but I was able to get it. Yeah, I think that this is my first time in the league this year. I think once things get to going, I'll be able to progress and give out a little bit more.
Absolutely. You can increase the pace and just find your way as you keep picking along. So right now, it's a very tight, you know, we are a couple points down for Atlanta. What does your team need to do to be able to secure this win tonight?
We just need to let our hands go a little more dominant, maybe get a couple stoppages if we can, you know, and I think that'll still the deal.
Absolutely, and you guys have such power punchers, but it seems like there's moments where you kind of, some of the teammates seem to not follow up with those exchanges. So, you know, just tightening that up probably.
Yeah, I think so, just getting those nerves out. We got some new people on the team who hasn't been here before, so that's a little different for them as well.
I appreciate your insight, ma'am, and excellent 2 rounds.
Thanks for having me.
Dave and Al, let's get us right into the action, finish out this night.
Okay, round 21, and Trujillo and Clarkson going at it with the 3-point lead for Miami.
This is a pivotal match for Atlanta right now. Clarkson had good momentum from the last time they faced each other at the end of that round, but I don't know if it totally carried into this one.
So you think about the stakes. Miami up 3. If Miami makes it 4 with 3 to go, which would happen with a decision here, then Atlanta needs a knockdown or a knockout to turn the tide and go ahead.
Samuel Clarkson is a kind of a burst fighter. You know, he'll have lulls, and he'll come up with good bursts where he's going to throw combinations and get something done offensively. But the problem is sometimes he looks like there's lulls for a longer period than he probably wants.
Clarkson trying to come straight to Trujillo, and in that instance he did get through, and the right hand by Trujillo landed in glancing fashion, but those body shots were good.
Yeah, Trujillo's done better body work. Clarkson is, you know, when he gets it going, he's a good combination puncher for a heavyweight, but doesn't do it all the time. There's another body shot by Trujillo. He's done a good job there.
All right, so did Trujillo put Miami up 4? Or did Clarkson get Atlanta back to a very close spot? Certain mentality needed to fight well and succeed in the money rounds.
They believe on that Miami bench they won.
21 by way of unanimous decision from the Miami Assassins, Gustavo Trujillo.
Miami back up to its biggest lead again, 16-12, with only 3 to go. So that is a dramatic turn for them.
At welterweight, Miami will feature Darius Jackson. Atlanta counters with Javon Davis.
All right, so somewhere for Atlanta between Javon Davis, Keandre Leatherwood, and Traquan Pettis, somebody has to find some thunder, as Miami now is up by 4 with just 3 matches to go.
Yeah, even a knockdown, if not a knockout, will help. And Darius Jackson, of course, won his first matchup against Javon Davis. And so it's going to be up to Davis to try and turn things around here.
Jackson coming out fast.
His first time for season 4. Oh, that was a great right hand by Davis. First time out this season for Jackson. And he's got a good TBO record, 20-10. He's just, you know, he's been good in this league and showed it in their first fight. It's interesting that they've never faced each other before.
Yeah, all the experience you have in the TBO. Yeah. How did we not?
Yeah.
There's a jab by Jackson and the right hand by Davis, who is looking to get bonus points for his team. Well, it was interesting there that when we saw the switch by Jackson, it was at a distance.
Yeah. And, you know, it's funny, Davis right-handed, when he moves to lefty, it's a good, interesting question. Davis has landed some really good right hands. Does that further help him land it or not? Davis wants to get one of those in, and he's landed a couple of good ones.
Everybody in Atlanta knows that Davis wants that right hand to get it. He's
not a big secret. And some of them have gotten there, but... And certainly, we talk about knockdowns. The first step is Atlanta's got to win one of these fights, and whether it's a one-pointer or whatever it is, they've got to put one in the bank here.
I kind of find that fascinating on the bench. You're talking about it. They were down 4 with 3 to go. One of you has to be the power person, but none of you can afford to lose. So
right.
If you're not the guy that gets us the knockout, you still have to get us a point.
Yeah, precisely. And Davis has been busier and more offensive in this encounter than he was with the first one with Jackson. So he's aware of the urgency of the moment. And Jackson's been a little more muted on offense in this round than he was. And there's that Davis right hand. So there have been moments for Javon Davis that have been very, very good. And of course, he's 29-10 in the TBO. He's used to winning.
And he has been fighting with urgency. We'll have a few more seconds to go. And here's Jackson trying to shoe shine a little bit and get something, but it all missed.
Yeah, Davis, talk about head movement. Well, they both are exuberant.
Well, there's the team aspect. Both of these guys ignited their team, even with the misses.
Well, it was a very energetic round. That's the ending part where Jackson was trying to land something big, and Davis just kept slipping everything. So that was pretty intriguing, and landing a counter right hand as well. Now, on the Miami side, they like to think their man has won, but that's a close one.
Team Boxing League fans, the winner of round 22 by way of split decision. From the Atlanta Attack, Javon Davis.
I think they made a good call on that.
I agree. I mean, it was a pretty close fight, but to me, that looked like Davis would have won it.
Round 23, our penultimate round, will be in the super middleweight division. For the Miami Assassins, Usman Ruiz. The Atlanta Attack will feature Keandre Leatherwood.
Well, we've got 2 matches to go, but then how big is that knockdown by Claudio Marrero? It came right after we were talking about the scoring system in the league. The one thing right now which looms as the big separator is that knockdown. We've got 2 more fights to go to see if this changes. 16-13 Miami.
And Leatherwood won a split decision when these 2 men met earlier, and one that, you know, maybe had a little controversy attached to it. It was very close. Can he do that again, and then, or maybe can he add another point, which he certainly never had Ruiz in any trouble in their first encounter.
Left hook by Leatherwood and a good right hand by Ruiz.
Ruiz was able to keep things, for the most part, at the distance he wanted in the first encounter between these 2 men earlier, but he didn't get the decision based on that. So does that make him be more aggressive? We'll see.
And it's an interesting mindset where Ruiz could be, because if there's all decisions now, Miami wins the contest.
Yeah.
So you have to stay upright. But if you know you've just been in a split decision with the guy, you may not be thinking you are going to get stopped. So maybe makes you more aggressive.
Yeah, you know, boxers don't think in terms of team in general, but they do here, and it does have an impact on your performance. Nice left hook on the inside by Leatherwood, and yeah, Leatherwood has been measured in his offense. He was in the first match between these 2. And Leatherwood is stopping the action on the inside. He's done that all the way through. I guess that's by choice on his part.
Yeah, it's basically, if I don't like what I'm seeing, I'm tying up. Or if you think that you're protecting a lead within a round, you may try to work some clock that way. But somebody in this team has to drop somebody from Miami, and there are only 2 fights to go.
And Leatherwood has to believe, I mean, he did get the benefit of the doubt in the first time they met, despite that. But if you are not going to work on the inside, the other guy's a big, tall guy on the outside that has the edge geographically, I don't know if that's the best strategy.
Now that big guy on the outside is doing some good work here with the jab, and then initiating the tie-up with 20 seconds to go. And there's a good left hand that got in by Ruiz.
Yeah, and Leatherwood got in a little counter as well, but Ruiz has just been busier. But then he was in the first round, and he didn't get the call, so we'll see.
Fighting in some bursts here, and they make it to the bell.
Ruiz a little frustrated with the holding tactics of Leatherwood, and this a lot riding on this decision right here.
Yeah, what kind of pads will Miami have before the last match? Could be 1 point, it could be 3.
TBL fans, the winner of round 23 by way of split decision. From the Atlanta Attack, Keandre Leatherwood.
That's intriguing.
Yes, and that makes it down to a 2-pointer. So a knockdown would tie it. Is the rematch happening right outside here in there?
Final money round will be in the lightweight division. For the Miami Assassins, Yossi Del Napoles. For the Atlanta Attack, Traquan Pettis.
All right, Napoles and Pettis. Here's what's at stake. It's a 2-point lead for the Miami Assassins. A victory that includes a knockdown by Atlanta would tie it. Obviously, a stoppage by Atlanta or 2 knockdowns would put Atlanta over the top. If Miami stays upright, Miami wins.
Traquan Pettis lost earlier this evening against Claudio Moreira, and Napoles won his match against Desmond Lyons. See if that will be reversed and whether a knockdown can be in play to help Atlanta.
These are the fighters the coaches selected to be in this spot. Their most dependable fighters. And naturally, Pettis is coming out with a ton of urgency. Looping right hand here by Pettis. I mean, this is drama tonight, but you also get the sense that these are 2 of the teams that we're going to see in the playoffs and contenders for Mega Break.
Yeah, a lot of talent on both these rosters. And we've seen evidence of that here tonight. And Traquan Pettis, who's got good chance, he's a good combination puncher, not a monstrous knockout guy, but right now he wants a burst of power to see if he can tie up this match or more.
We've had 2 knockouts and a knockdown. Kellyanne Knight, first knockout. And then we had one in fight number 7 with Giovanni Estella. And then Claudio Moreira with the big, huge knockdown in the money round.
Napoli's kind of, against the roll.
We have a knockdown for the team that's leading. In Miami's eyes, it shuts out the lights. It's still time to go for the grand finale. Here comes Napoles with some accent. Big right hand again. This might be called. Probably should be called. And it is. Well, there was thunder, but by the team that was leading, we did have drama and power in the final stages. No sitting on the lead for Miami.
What a punctuation mark for Miami. The Napoles, who showed power in week 2 when he knocked down Malik Lark and beating him, shows even more power here, and he's becoming a go-to guy. He's won both his fights tonight for Miami, and one of them with a knockout. So he's produced 5 points for his team, and boy, he had Davis wobbling all over, or Pettis wobbling all over.
He already had 1 point in the bank when he did this, and he just went for it. He did not let a hurt opponent off the hook and did not use the clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, The end comes at 2 minutes 21 seconds of the 24th round. 4 points, and your winner by knockout, Yostela Napoles.
The Napoles makes it 20-14, a deceiving margin, but terrific victory by the Miami Assassins in Atlanta tonight. Money rounds, thunder by Marrero and then Napoles. We'll come back to look at the honor roll after this.
All right, girls back there. Number 3 star. Julia, back to the side. Right to my left. Taylor, shooting this way. Number 2 star, you're going to be right here on his side. Right? Number 1 star, right here on this side. Round in the night, you're going to be over here, guys. When you coach, right in the middle. Sam, on the side.
Everybody else, I don't give nobody. I will give money. Everybody. Right.
Coach, you can help us with the translation. All right, Cam.
Team Boxing League is brought to you by Balance of Nature. In boxing, consistency beats intensity. Balance of Nature supplements help you stay consistent with ingredients of whole foods you can easily slot into your daily routine. Go to balanceofnature.com, use code TEAM, and start today. Well, terrific money rounds display by the Miami team. And let's go back inside and get the honor rolls. Here is Ray Flores.
Ladies and gentlemen, your final score, the Miami Assassins 20, the Atlanta Tech 14. Here is the 3 stars of the fight. Your number 3 star, Miami Assassins, a lightweight, Yostela Napoles. Your 2nd star of the fight, Atlanta Tech featherweight, Kaylee and Knight. And your Balance of Nature 1st star of the fight, Miami Assassins middleweight, Giovanni Estella. And the round of the fight, round number 5 between Darius Jackson and Javon Davis.
Coach Sam, you guys started out so strong, and you had that knockout right in the beginning, and it felt like the momentum was going, and then it seemed like it just started to kind of peter out towards the middle rounds, towards the end. And there were some exchanges that seemed that were just getting missed. Talk to us through that about what may have happened.
Well, I feel like it was some close rounds that could have went either way that end up going Miami way. But, you know, you're talking about 2 good teams, so anything can happen. Every time we fight Miami, it's a real close fight. All respect to Coach Herman, but we'll be back May 2nd. We'll be in Miami. We'll do it again. I take the losses with the win. I still keep my head up. We got plenty of season left, so we're going to come back and do what we got to do to make the adjustments.
And I have to say, just shout out to the crowd, because Atlanta, what amazing support.
Yeah, thank Atlanta for coming out. Everybody in the crowd, thank y'all for coming out supporting.
Coach Harmon, beautiful work tonight. Again, just like Coach Sam said, the exchanges in between the athletes were such high level, and it was just like winning those exchanges at the end and kind of following up, you know, and not loading up. I saw that a lot on the Atlanta side. They were trying to load up, trying to really throw the power, and then, but that's where you guys were catching them.
Yeah, especially at the end, they got, you get desperation time. You got to pull it out. They like Sam said, this team is a great team. They always compete. They're always in the end, the finals. So it's not to be, taken lightly. And all our guys know that. We definitely train hard for everybody, but definitely for Atlanta.
I mean, the respect is there. I mean, it was said at the beginning when we were talking backstage with Sam, they know that you guys are just the rivals in this region, and really excited for the next time you guys see each other down in Miami.
Absolutely, me too. Yeah, absolutely. I need to make a couple adjustments as well, but definitely very happy for Miami. Thank you, Team Boxing League, and all the fans that are starting to really support and realize that this is fantastic. It's the way to go.
Action nonstop. Congratulations on the fantastic performance tonight.
Thank you. I'll help you.
Okay. Way to close out tonight. Beautiful, beautiful pressure. You saw that he was trying to use the pressure to try to kind of force it, and you caught him right in between.
Muchas gracias. Solo salí a hacer el trabajo que me dijo la esquina, me dijo el equipo, y salimos a buscar la victoria, y nada, vino el golpe, se desesperó un poco y nos ajustamos más o menos al boxeo de él y salió el golpe solo.
He says thank you very much, first and foremost, to Team Boxing League, and that, yeah, absolutely. He knew that they were going to be desperate. He knew they needed the knockout to close out their end, and so the instructions in the corner were let him come to you, keep working him behind the jab, and it's going to land.
Excellent work tonight.
Muy buen trabajo.
Oh, muchas gracias.
Now, so hello, excellent performance tonight. I know I've said that, but you literally set the tone for Atlanta beginning of the launch rounds, and it was like you were the catalyst that really started moving things.
Thank you.
Like it was just the energy was there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my coach back home, Joseph Perez, we had a good game plan coming in. I studied my opponent. She was no joke. So I just came in prepared mentally, physically, spiritually. And I just, my coach said, make it quick. So I made it quick. Shout out to the Bay, shout out to California, and shout out to Atlanta. Thank you guys for coming out, and I'm happy to be here.
And wonderful work. And as I say in boxing, we don't get paid for overtime. So
yes, man, I'm a prize fighter, not a pride fighter. So. Oh, also, I love you, Mama. Thank you.
So we talk about how she started the momentum going. You shut it down.
Big time. So yes, she gave a nasty knockout. The girl fell to the floor, and that put the team down a little bit. Then we ended up losing the round right after that. So I knew I had to get a comeback for our team, and that put us up. We put us up 2 points. So I was really excited about that.
And your knockout came, and it was almost like I feel like you were locked into it. But everybody else in the crowd was not expecting that to occur.
Yeah, I knew the fight was going to be really good. The guy, I knew him from last season, and he had great skills. So I wasn't expecting the knockout, but I was expecting to leave my pressure in the ring. So I was expecting to win, just not from that type of knockout.
Anything looking forward to the next time that you see them in Miami?
I know that they're going to fix a lot of things. They're going to study a lot of tapes, and I think our team is going to be doing the same thing. We don't want it to be as close as it was this fight. So if we can fix any errors just like they have to, we'll be all right.
Well said. Excellent work tonight. Enjoy your win, and congratulations, Miami, and thank you, Atlanta. Beautiful night tonight. Let's finish out the show.
Okay, Amelia, yes, it was a beautiful night with twists and turns, and Al did the terrific performance. We'll go with the Balance of Nature star of the fight. We were just talking to Giovanni Estella, and this is where Miami got the momentum back.
Yeah, this was very, very impressive by him. He's got power, and boy, he used it to knock Prather down and get the knockout and makes him the star of the fight.
I find it fascinating in looking through Not only that one, which stopped the momentum, and of course the knockout early on with Kellyanne Knight. But how about this when you're projecting everything? Marrero knockdown.
Yeah.
Changes all the strategy that comes after. So they were talking in the interview how he had to go for it, which made him susceptible to get countered for a knockout. What if Marrero only gets a decision win?
Yes.
And what does that do to change the styles in round 24?
It's a very good point, and that's what makes team boxing fascinating, I have to say, because each of these fights create more situations in the fights that come after them. And yeah, if Marrero doesn't get that knockdown from that nice right hook that he landed, things change after that. And because of the desperation, Napoli's was able to get a big knockout victory.
All right, so a lot of twists and turns and a lot of all-star rounds in this contest. Let's take a look at them, going right through with the launch rounds. And this was Kellyanne Goodnight. What a shot to start this out. She just deposited the bomb here, and this put Atlanta up by a lot. And again, we've seen some explosive punching from the women in recent fights. And Kellyanne Knight, what a time to celebrate. And then Estella turned it around for Miami.
Yeah, and he articulated that very well to Amelia. He knew he had to be stop the momentum, and boy, he did that with that right hand. He's got power for sure.
And he knew he had it, too, the way he stood over and talked about it. So it was a tight fight, 2 points for Miami coming into round 11. And this was one, Money in the Bank Davis. She's a points machine, and this was a very good matchup between these two fighters twice.
Yeah, Sofia Veretti, a very tough fighter that came over from MMA and Muay Thai. And while she's a work in progress in terms of boxing, not in terms of toughness, she hung in there, but Ariel Davis did what she always does, got a victory.
And then we would go over to round 15, and this was also a good round for Atlanta to keep them in the contest as Miami was threatening to pull away.
Yeah, Money Powell moved up to cruiserweight to help his team out, and against Gonzalez, who of course is a natural cruiserweight, he fought a brilliant tactical fight, got a very important point for Atlanta at that point.
All right, so that was, again, nice and tight going into the money rounds. And here, we were just talking about this. May have been the biggest individual scenario that happened, and it wasn't a knockout, it was a knockdown.
Yeah, Marrero found a home for that right hook, and then was able to get that punch in and knock Lyons down, and a seminal moment in this matchup.
Because it took it from a 1-point matchup to a 3, and then now, in the final round, Atlanta needed a knockout, so you have to go for it, and you can leave yourself open.
Boy, did he ever. Pettis coming in and got knocked down, then hurt badly by Napoli, who is becoming quite the puncher. He knocked out Malik Lark, or down Malik Lark, in the second week of the season, and now this tonight creates a knockout that really cemented this victory.
I really love the really much the explosive nature of the team, how they all jump up when there's a big moment like that. We talk about the team boxing, and there was a perfect illustration as that bolt of electricity just ran through the entire team. We just won.
Yeah, that's what makes this a lot of fun. And the two knockouts, we talked about at the beginning of the show that power could well be the differentiating factor. And even though there was a knockout for Atlanta, the two knockouts and then the knockdown for Miami is what separated them this evening.
And when you scout teams for the Mega Brawl, you will look for those power.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at the standings and see how everything is shaping up in the early season in team boxing. Look who's on top, the San Antonio Snipers, a signature win for them last week against LA. Miami 2-0, a very well-earned victory for them. The Philadelphia Smoke 2-0, and the Atlanta Attack maybe a deceiving 1-1.
And you know, you can look at all those 1-1 teams, and certainly Las Vegas, we know they're going to be in the hunt. You look at all those 1-1 teams, and that's what makes this fun. Any of those could be playoff teams and figure into possible Mega Brawl.
Well, we've got some great rivalries next week. Two of the good trash-talking teams, Boston and New York, will set it up for us at the beginning of the next TBL. The Boston Butchers and the defending champion NYC Attitude. They've had a lot of close matches.
Boy, have they ever. And, you know, Boston may be surprised at the loss they had, but that's going to be a great matchup.
All right, so there's a lot of action coming your way. Some teams are starting to forge their identities in the team boxing league. You always look, how about San Antonio being on top 2-0 after not making the playoffs last year? And, you know, it usually only takes about 4 wins to make the playoffs. So if you're San Antonio, you're thinking you're halfway there. If you're Miami, you're thinking you're halfway there.
Yeah, and one of those other 1-1 teams, Nashville, who we see coming up here, they got a very important win to get themselves back into the picture.
All right, we had a lot of fun tonight in the Team Boxing League. A fight that we thought would be very competitive certainly was all the way through. As right off the start, Atlanta got the big start with Kaylee Ann Knight. She was celebratory, and Estella got it back for Miami, and we went right down through. Thank you for joining us. For my pal Al Bernstein, for Amelia Moore, for the great work in the truck, for Jason Moon, and for everybody around the league. This is Dave Bontempo saying thanks for joining us. Stay tuned to the Team Boxing League all season long.